welcome to the tutorial with Akikubro. And in this module, I'm going to show you, or let me say, I'm going to get you familiar with Linux file system, or let me say Linux 610 specifically, because before we get started, it's very essential to understand this guy in front of us, what we are dealing with right here. So, I think that shouldn't be in uppercase. Alright, so I just cleared that for you. Let me just fire up the presentation for us. Um, Alright, so the first we have in front of us is to discuss Linux file system. So why is it essential for us to understand Linux file system is because most probably most of us is already familiar with Windows file system, whereby we have all this information being mounted on our hard drive, and everything is just being packed there for us for you to use. So we understand the hierarchy of window. Like everything is not actually on your own. It's not being parted on your own. Everything is being packed into one place. But things are not actually like that with Linux, because some things are actually different. So I have a very nice picture from here to view with you. Alright, so if you look at it, I think that opened twice. If you look at these right in front of me from here, you'll see Linux file system actually works like this. So this is a tree for it. It has a root, so we call this the root. So that's the forward slash. We call it the root. Then inside the root file, let me say the root folder. So this is actually what is mounted on your hard drive. We have this guy right here, and each of them actually have what they are doing. They have the purpose they are serving. So I'm going to start from the bin. So the bin is actually your binary file. So just as simple as say, the bin folder is actually your binary file. So your binary file folder, so is actually a folder. Binary folder, it contains the binary file and they are executable files. So most of them are executable. When I say binary file, I want to put it down in a very basic way. Okay, binary files are simply programs. Let me say executable programs that is on your system. So we can verify that if we cd to this, so you can see I can change the directory. So cd actually stands from change directory, and it allows us to change from one to move from one directory to another. So to this to splash, I'm already there, and if I say change directory again to binary, so that's been, you can see this actually guy actually changes. Say Gabriel to Linux, then, and I'm inside the binary folder right now. So and if I try to ls, so ls means that we should list whatsoever is inside this folder. So maybe probably in the next couple of series, I'm going to show you the commands that you need to get familiar with. But just for to explain the binary file, you can see all these files are actually binary file and they are executable. So that is actually what we mean by binary file. You can see there are many of them. Let me bring this up so big. Probably I should bring up my terminal like that. You can see there are even too much of them. They are just there. So they are executable file. You don't need to understand them. I just want you to understand that binary file contain executable file. So let's move on. The boot folder, so the boot folder, they are not actually file, they are folder. Sorry for that. The boot folder actually contain the system boot program, so those programs that help us to boot up our system. So the dev is actually shortened for device. The device program contains our device like the speaker, the the standard input and standard output, the keyboard, anything that associates with external device on our computer is actually where inside this folder is where we can find them. We have the etc, so the etc, so that's what people call it. The etc actually stands from all these our configuration file. It contains our mostly is actually contain configuration file. So whenever we have an issue within our system, we want to configure, this is the folder that we are going to move to. The home folder, so the home folder is actually a resident for all the users on this computer, because on this computer I can actually have more than one user, just like Windows system. If you're familiar with Windows, whereby you have one administrator account, you have one for yourself, then you have one for your relative, like that. If you're a parent, you have one for your children or something like that. So that you we try to designate what I am doing from what anyone else is doing from my computer. So this is actually where we reside. So all the users within this computer, they are going to sit down at the home folder. Then the library, so these are the system library, the system used to perform one or more functionalities like that. So I just wanted to have a abstract understanding of what all these folders they do in hierarchy. The system binary. So if you look at it, we have the binary, which is the general binary. Then the system also has its own binary. So a series of programs that the system itself use in order to do more one or two tasks within the computer. Then we have the root folder. The root folder is actually contains all the root information, because in Windows we use administrator, in Linux we don't use administrator, we use root. So the most powerful user right here is root, but on Windows the most powerful user is administrator. So it contains some programs that associate with root, because the root is also a user on the system, just like administrator is also a user on Windows system, and we need to designate root from others. So that is why there is another special folder for root, which is not associated with home. So we just have it separately. The OPT folder, which is from other options, I think third parties program. So if you have any program you want to install that's related to third parties program, this is the folder that we are going to put it inside right here. So the OPT, I'm going to show you everything. I just want to explain all this guy before I move on, because I don't want the video to be long. The process folder, so is shortened as is just shortened as proc. So the process folder is actually it contain process information and kernel information. So those are very important for us to know too. We are just going to see some of it in detail, some of the information that we can retrieve about the processes that is running within our computer, and also the processes that it is being associated with the kernel itself. You might not understand what we mean by kernel. I think I'm getting a little more technical here. Kernel is actually an art of operating system. It's actually the guy that is breeding for the operating system to carry out its functions. So let me just put it that way. So MNT, we start from months. So this is actually where our all our months file we go on our all our months file. So if you actually want to mount any file to this system, because all these guys are being mounted to it, you can see they are mounted to the roots specifically. So if you have any other file from external, maybe from other server, like we did, if you remember the last video we did concerning our getting started what's called with Kali Linux, and when we want to create persistency, we mount a folder named my USB to this particular folder, so that it's going to become part of the tree, part of the structure of the file system itself. Then we have the temporary folder. This is actually where we keep our temporary file, and they get deleted, I think, within some days like that. They get deleted because they are temporary. So nothing inside that folder is actually permanent. It's going to delete itself as time goes on. So do we have the user for program? This is USR, which contains all the information about users, the program associated with users, and all the program that every what's called designated users need in order to carry out whatsoever task they are doing with the computer. Then we have the var program, the var folder right here, which is stands for varieties. Yeah, I think so. So varieties is actually all these programs that we need within the computer in order to serve us well. Then we have the service folder, which contains the FTP, the file system, and the WW, which is FTP stands for file transfer protocol, yes, and WW is actually for us probably when we want to host to the world wide web. We want to host a website within our Linux system itself. So that's all we have, and these are the ones that are very important, because as we dive in, you are going to understand what this guy do. But once we understand what this guy do, basically, we are going to definitely understand the rest of them and what is inside them. So once we understand that, okay, this is a bootable file, this is a virtual machine for Linux. Can you see VM for Linux? Like this is actually one of the programs that help us to boot our system. So we'll talk about devices right here. You see, we have these are devices that we have. So probably we have hardware. So you see hardware A, we have SDA, those are storage, those are memory, and we have STO. So these are the name of storage, those are the name of memories, like that. And we have library. So we have ld.so. So anything.so is actually a library. And even when we understand the basis of this guy, we're just going to understand the art of it. So once again, I want to come again. So let's just, but I think I'm talking too much. Why not we just show the practical aspect? All right, since it's essential to show the practical aspect. All right, So I've talked about the CD. So I just wanted to familiar with the CD command. So because this is how Linux works. Once you open the terminal, it's going to give you this interface. You have the name right here. There you your name right here. So this is your name. This is the user right here, and this is the host. The name of the host machine. So the name of my host machine is actually Linux, and this is my name right here, which is me. And I have this interface for me to type in anything I want from here. And this is just a command line interface that is different from user interface. In the user interface, I can just click on the folder, I can open the folder itself. Then as you can see, we have Gabriel, desktop, trash, documents, music, photos, download, videos, and all informations from here like that. So same thing for here. If I actually do list ls, you can see we have the same information in front of me. We have Android, blam, then desktop, documents, downloads. These are all my personal information. So we have music, we have pictures, we have videos. So everything we have here is actually what we have here too. Is actually what we have here too. So they are basically the same thing, except this one is graphical user interface, and this one is command line interface. The reason why you want to use command line interface is the command line interface is very fast. It's so very so fast, even faster more than graphical user interface. And once you get familiar with the command line interface, you are going to see how easy for you to traverse a computer like that. So if once I'm here, you see all this information here. So we have the same thing, all these screenshot I did, and all this package, some other files right here. They are also listed right here. So these are the screenshot I did, the package. To pick one specific, this is profile or x csv. I think it's there, right? So it's actually the same. So this is the program. So I wanted to show that I'm inside this place, in this place. So if I open documents from here, so this is my documents, the information I have in the document. I can actually do the same thing. Then the only thing I have to do is that since I have documents here, I have to say cd into documents. So cd actually stands for change directory to documents. And if I ls this guy, so which is list, so I've shown you two commands now, cd and list, like that. So you see I have all these informations right here with me. And if you go here, right here, it's actually the same thing I have. You can see if you have a very pretty eyes, you see it's the same informations I have. So that's not where I'm going. I'm just going to I'm just trying to get you familiar with the terminal itself. So if I say cd to this splash, so which means that we are in the root folder. If you study this hierarchy, so this splash stands from the root folder. And if we try to list what we have here, so it said permission deny, but I'm going to use a super, let me say a super power, that is sudo. So super do, that's how you call it. So super do, so we shorten it sudo ls. It's going to ask me for my sudo password. So don't worry if you don't have that, just let me do it. I just want to show you something. So if you look at what we list from here, as a matter of fact, let me just switch to a root user. We are still coming back on commands, which is important. I just want to show you a proof of concept of what I teach right there. So ls like that, sorry, not like here. Yeah. So if you see, we have the binary, we have the its etc, we have the months, we have the roots, we have the user, the x rv, the around, the option, the procs, the var, the system, the media, and I think we are, where is the month points? We have the month points. And if you look at here, all this information that we have here, similarly we also have it here too. So as I said before, if you want to list what is inside the binary file, you can say list, which is shortened to ls. There you can see bin, then it's going to list what is inside our binary file for us. The boot file, so let me just clear this up. If you write clear, it's going to clear up, or you press Ctrl L, it's going to do the same thing. Okay, so ls, which is list, then boot. So these are all the informations I have inside my boot file, can you see? And then these are what we have inside the boot file, like that. So if I say ls again, see ls, or the current directory that I have. So I just want to show you the proof of concept that everything I'm trying to explain from here is actually real inside Linux subsystem file. So in the next tutorial, we are going to be looking at the Linux command. I think that's the next one we have. So Linux command in total. So that's what we have. So alright, see you in the next tutorial, please.